Welcome to Top Celebrities Data. Today, we remember the child actors who once lit up our screens with innocence and talent, yet left this world far too soon. In this video, we'll uncover not only their life stories, but also the heartbreaking truth about how they passed away. Michelle Trachtenberg, born October 11, 1985, was a gifted actress whose captivating role in Gossip Girl, 2007 to 2012, touched countless hearts. With so much life and talent ahead of her, her journey was tragically cut short. On February 26, 2025, at only 39 years old, she passed away from complications of diabetes, leaving the world mourning a bright spirit gone far too soon. Corey Haim, born December 23, 1971, captured the world's attention as one of the most beloved teen idols of the 1980s, shining brightly in The Lost Boys, 1987. Yet behind the fame, his story was heartbreakingly brief. On March 10, 2010, at just 38 years old, he passed away from pneumonia, leaving fans mourning a vibrant star whose light faded far too early. Sal Mineo, born January 10, 1939, was celebrated for his unforgettable role in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, marking him as one of Hollywood's brightest young talents. His future seemed limitless, yet fate was cruel. On February 12, 1976, at the age of only 37, his life was taken suddenly, leaving an irreplaceable emptiness in the hearts of colleagues and admirers. Michael Hutchence, born January 22, 1960, was the magnetic voice of INXS, captivating audiences with both music and acting, as seen in Dogs in Space, 1986. His life, filled with artistry, ended too soon. On November 22, 1997, at just 37 years old, he left the world, leaving behind melodies and memories forever tinged with the sadness of a life cut short. Marilyn Monroe, born June 1, 1926, embodied beauty, charm, and extraordinary talent, forever immortalized in Some Like It Hot, 1959. Yet her story, so full of promise, ended tragically early. On August 4, 1962, at just 36 years old, she left this world, her untimely departure casting a shadow of sorrow over the golden age of Hollywood. Andy Kaufman, born January 17, 1949, was a groundbreaking entertainer, best remembered for his unconventional humor and memorable role in Taxi, 1978 to 1983. His creativity knew no bounds, and his future seemed bright. Yet, on May 16, 1984, at the tender age of 35, he passed away from lung cancer, leaving admirers heartbroken over the loss of such a unique and irreplaceable talent far too soon. Jane Mansfield, born April 19, 1933, was a glamorous Hollywood starlet whose beauty and charisma lit up the screen in films like The Girl Can't Help It, 1956. Her career was blossoming, and her life seemed full of promise. Tragically, on June 29, 1967, at just 34 years old, she lost her life in a car accident, leaving the world mourning a radiant star taken in her prime. Carole Lombard, born October 6, 1908, was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, admired for her grace, wit, and unforgettable performance in To Be or Not to Be, 1942. Her life was filled with success and love, yet fate was cruel. On January 16, 1942, at only 33 years old, she perished in a plane crash, leaving the golden era of cinema shrouded in grief. Sam Cooke, born January 22, 1931, was a legendary singer whose soulful voice and performance on General Electric Theater, 1960, touched millions. He was a pioneer in music, with a future that promised even greater triumphs. Yet, on December 11th, 1964, at just 33 years old, his life ended suddenly, leaving the world grieving a voice silenced far too soon. John Belushi, born January 24th, 1949, was a comedic genius whose unforgettable role in The Blues Brothers, 1980, made him a household name. His boundless energy and talent promised decades of brilliance ahead. Yet, on March 5th, 1982, at just 33 years old, his vibrant life came to an abrupt end, leaving fans grieving the loss of a man who brought so much laughter to the world. Chris Farley, born February 15, 1964, was a beloved comedian whose role in Tommy Boy, 1995, cemented his place in the hearts of audiences. His warmth and humor could light up any room. Tragically, on December 18, 1997, at only 33 years old, his life was cut short, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and a lingering sadness for the joy that ended too soon. Naya Rivera, born January 12, 1987, was a radiant actress beloved for her role in Glee, 2009 to 2015. Her life ended in an act of bravery, saving her young son from danger. On July 8, 2020, at just 33 years old, she passed away, leaving the world mourning not only her talent, but also the selfless love she showed in her final moments. Bruce Lee, born November 27, 1940, was a legendary martial artist and actor whose Enter the Dragon, 1973, became an enduring classic. He revolutionized martial arts and cinema and inspired millions. On July 20th, 1973, at just 32 years old, his sudden passing shocked the world, leaving an unfillable void in both the martial arts community and the hearts of his admirers. Brittany Murphy, born November 10, 1977, was a vibrant actress whose charm lit up films like Clueless, 1995. Her career was blossoming and her future was bright. But on December 20th, 2009, at the young age of 32, she passed away unexpectedly, leaving fans and loved ones heartbroken over the loss of such a warm and luminous soul. Rudolph Valentino, born May 6, 1895, was the original silver screen heartthrob, captivating audiences in The Chic, 1921, with his magnetic presence. At the height of his fame, tragedy struck. On August 23, 1926, at only 31 years old, he left the world in shock. His passing marked the end of an era and the start of an enduring legend that still stirs hearts nearly a century later. Corey Monteith, born May 11, 1982, became a beloved face of a generation through his role in Glee, 2009 to 2013. Behind the scenes, he was known for his kindness and humility. His untimely passing on July 13, 2013, at only 31, left fans in deep sorrow, mourning a young man whose smile once lit up millions of homes. The Big Bopper, born October 24, 1930, as J.P. Richardson, brought joy to the world with his hit Chantilly Lace, 1958. On February 3, 1959, at just 28 years old, his life was cut short in a plane crash that also claimed Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, a day forever remembered in music history as the day the music died. Brandon Lee, born February 1, 1965, was a rising star whose role in The Crow, 1994, was meant to propel him to lasting fame. But tragedy struck during filming, and on March 31, 1993, at just 28 years old, his life ended far too soon, leaving behind a legacy tinged with both brilliance and heartbreaking loss. Heath Ledger, born April 4th, 1979, delivered one of cinema's most unforgettable performances as the Joker in The Dark Knight, 2008. At the peak of his craft, he was poised for decades of greatness. Yet, on January 22, 2008, at only 28 years old, he was gone, leaving the film world mourning the loss of a rare and luminous talent. Jonathan Brandis, born April 13, 1976, rose to fame in the 1990s as a beloved teen idol, most famously for his role in Sequest DSV, 1993 to 1996. Beyond the bright lights and adoring fans, he was known as a gentle, introspective soul with a quiet charm. Yet, on November 12, 2003, at only 27 years old, his promising journey ended abruptly, leaving behind a silent ache in the hearts of those who grew up watching him. Anton Yelchin, born March 11, 1989, was a gifted actor whose warm presence and sincerity shone in every role, especially as Chekhov in Star Trek, 2009. His career was just beginning to bloom, promising decades of artistry ahead. But on June 19, 2016, a tragic and unforeseen accident claimed his life at only 27. The loss was profound, an irreplaceable talent gone, leaving the industry and his fans in deep sorrow. Jean Harlow, born March 3, 1911, captivated audiences as Hollywood's first blonde bombshell, setting a new standard of glamour in films like Dinner at 8, 1933. Her charisma was unmatched, her star ascending ever higher. But on June 7, 1937, at the tender age of 26, illness took her away. The golden age of cinema was left mourning one of its brightest and most unforgettable icons. Sharon Tate, born January 24, 1943, was a radiant talent whose role in Valley of the Dolls, 1967, hinted at a glittering career ahead. She carried grace and warmth both on and off screen. On August 9, 1969, at just 26, her life was cut short in an act of senseless violence, leaving the world haunted by the image of a star whose light should have shone for decades more. Tupac Shakur, born June 16, 1971, was more than a musician. He was a poet, activist, and a voice for the voiceless, immortalized in works like Poetic Justice, 1993. His art spoke of pain, hope, and resilience. On September 13, 1996, at just 25 years old, his life ended in a storm of violence. His absence still echoes through music, culture, and the hearts of millions around the globe. Brad Renfro, born July 25, 1982, captured hearts as a child star in The Client, 1994, showing a depth of talent far beyond his years. Yet the pressures and turbulence of fame cast long shadows over his life. On January 15, 2008, at just 25, an accidental overdose claimed him. The world lost a gifted soul who had barely begun to explore the fullness of his artistry. James Dean, born February 8, 1931, became a cultural icon almost overnight through roles like Rebel Without a Cause, 1955. His smoldering charisma embodied the restless spirit of youth. But on September 30th, 1955, at just 24, a car accident ended his life in an instant. He remains forever frozen in time, young, defiant, and unforgettable. River Phoenix, born August 23, 1970, was hailed as one of the most promising actors of his generation, with memorable performances like Stand By Me, 1986. Sensitive and intensely talented, He seemed destined for greatness. Yet, on October 31st, 1993, at only 23, his light was extinguished by a drug overdose, leaving Hollywood and his fans to wonder what might have been. Selena Quintanilla, born April 16, 1971, was the queen of Tejano music, whose vibrant voice and magnetic presence captivated millions. Her success was a beacon for a generation. But on March 31st, 1995, at just 23, she was shot by her own manager, a betrayal that shocked the world. Her songs still play, carrying the echo of a life taken far too soon. Buddy Holly, born September 7, 1936, was a pioneer of rock and roll, influencing generations with his groundbreaking sound. In just a few years, he transformed popular music forever. On February 3, 1959, at the age of 22, a plane crash ended his journey. That day, often called the day the music died, marked the silencing of a voice that helped shape modern music. Freddie Prinze, born June 22, 1954, brought laughter into countless homes through Chico and the Man, 1974 to 1977. Behind the comedic charm, however, lay private struggles few could see. On January 29, 1977, at only 22, he took his own life, leaving fans stunned and the entertainment world mourning the loss of a bright young star. Dominique Dunne, born November 23, 1959, was a rising talent whose role in Poltergeist, 1982, promised a luminous future. That promise was cut short when, on November 4, 1982, she was strangled by her ex-boyfriend. She was just 22, her career and life stolen in an act of senseless violence. Aaliyah, born January 16, 1979, captivated the world with her music and grace, making a seamless leap to acting with Romeo Must Die, 2000. On August 25, 2001, after filming a music video, she perished in a plane crash at just 22. Her beauty, talent, and promise remain etched in the hearts of those she inspired. Cameron Boyce, born May 28, 1999, lit up the Disney screen in Descendants, 2015, with infectious energy and warmth. On July 6, 2019, at only 20, he died suddenly from SUDEP, a rare epilepsy-related condition. His departure was a heartbreaking reminder of how fragile and fleeting life can be. Ritchie Valens, born May 13, 1941, became a rock and roll trailblazer with hits like La Bamba while still a teenager. On February 3, 1959, at just 17, he died in the same plane crash that claimed Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, a day forever remembered as the day the music died. Heather O'Rourke, born December 27, 1975, was the angelic child star of Poltergeist, 1982, whose innocent charm won over millions. On February 1, 1988, at only 12, she died from cardiac arrest caused by septic shock. Her loss remains one of Hollywood's most poignant tragedies, the silencing of a voice before it had fully spoken. If this video touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our next tribute. Thank you for watching, and may they rest in peace.